This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. I'm playing with shadows today. Look at this light. Do you see how it shines on the wall? When I put my hand in between the light and the wall, it makes a shadow. The shadow is actually a place where no light is shining because my hand is blocking the light from getting to the wall. I made my shadow to look like a bunny rabbit. Hebrews chapter 10 tells us that the covenant that God made with his people in the Old Testament through the law was just a shadow of the covenant that he made with the people in the New Testament through Jesus. When Jesus came and died on the cross, the old covenant moved aside and was no longer a shadow blocking the light of the new covenant. We now know Jesus as the light of the world. Mr. Tom is going to share this truth with you in another fun way.
I have this piece of black cloth. Kind of reminds me of a shadow. In fact, in Hebrews 10, they talk about the old covenant in the Old Testament as being a shadow. When Christ came to earth, he kind of shook things up with the religious leaders because there was no longer a need for them to constantly sacrifice for the forgiveness of sins. Christ came to be the new covenant. He was the light of the world. And in his new covenant, he was the sacrifice, the only sacrifice needed for the forgiveness of sins. If you want to find out more about it, look in Hebrews chapter 10.
Here is another fun way to understand shadows. If you look at the candle, you will see the shadow of the candle and the shadow of the wick, but you will not see the shadow of the flame. That is because light has no shadow. 1 John 1:5 tells us, God is light. In him there is no darkness at all.